So now we have our match at the pay-per-view. Wes Briscoe can show us what he can do. I'll see you this weekend.
Welcome back, YouTubers, to another TNA Impact Wrestling review of us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Mr. Parkin here, NJ here.
What's up?
And in a contest of who can hold the facial expression the most, I believe I won because you just had to do your What's Up, NJ. Oh, you're kind of beating me again now. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this edition of TNA Impact Wrestling down in that comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
Yeah, no competition here at the British Fist as to who can do the longest stale face expression, ANJ. Damn, you're really taking this competition really seriously, aren't you? So this was the go-home show going into Final Resolution 2012, the final TNA pay-per-view of the year. Our predictions video with that will be on Saturday, so check that out if you want to see our thoughts going into that pay-per-view. We opened up this show with a promo segment with Roode, Kaz, and Daniels coming out talking about their respective pay-per-view matches. It was like Fortune reunited for the win there, wasn't it?
When you look at them all together, they did prove that they are the good talks on mic, the heels opening up. And the fact, when I look at that, yes, they left Kaz out for some of the segment, just concentrating on the two better mic talkers. Yeah, well done. But again, this was a good opener. You had the heels hyping up the main event, and then Daniel's obviously hyping up his match against AJ. I thought this was good work here. Yeah,
I mean, then you get AJ Styles coming out. The crowd were really hot for AJ Styles here, and he was saying how Daniels was jealous, and it's nice they actually focus that bit of the promo on that one feud, and then you have them taking each other out, blah blah blah. The faces come out and make the save.
The thing that made me laugh about this is that, you know, Daniels being the heel he is and the one he's trying to get back at AJ, he goes saying, AJ, you're a loser, and that. Again, when you look at the past history at the pay-per-views, Daniels always the loser?
Yeah, Daniels has never beaten AJ Styles on a pay-per-view. Good revisionist history there, Christopher Daniels. That's all I say. So this hyped up the main. It was a nice, simple segment. Sometimes I say simple is effective. It hyped up the six-man tag main event. It was a good opener. Then we move on to the TV Championship match. But before we go on to that, I will ask you, who is James Storm facing at the pay-per-view? Does he have a match? Is he going to face Kazarian? Just a guy like James Storm, you'd expect to have a feud going into a pay-per-view. Just my thought.
With the fact that this is finally going to be Storm's actually probably going to 2013, where he's probably going to capture the title and keep it on properly, he does need pay-per-view matches. And the fact that the last one, 2012, he doesn't look like he's going to be in one, unless it's a fit against Kazarian. It's a bit of a shame for him.
It is a little bit, especially after all that momentum he had at one point, and now he's kind of just like petering off a little bit, and his character is kind of going down in a downward spiral. So I hope at some point in 2013, James Storm does get the belt. That's all I will say. Then we move on to the TV title match between Samoa Joe and Devon. One of many matches which were really more about the angle than the match. It's kind of like Russo booking. This is weird, wasn't it? A random woman distracts Samoa Joe, and then Doc helps Devon win his TV title back. So the first championship, guys, that the Aces and Eights win is the TV Championship. Hooray for this faction! They're doing awesome!
The thing that really bugged me about this match is the fact that, number one, the women there, yes, that led to something good for the Aces and Eights, but Samoa Joe lost to Devon in 4 minutes. Yes, it was because of distraction, but you would expect more of a longer match before something like that happens. But I guess they wanted this match quick, to the point, moving on to the rest of the show. But again, well done for winning the TV title. And what I will say before you start bad-mouthing what the Ace and Eights have done, as Terminator NJ tweeted before the end of the show,
bloody hell.
Yes, he did mention the fact that they've captured their first title out of the rest, so good luck to the Aces and Eights.
So the Aces and Eights are going for more titles?
I think that might be their direction.
Damn, at least the internet, it looks like they do look at these videos after what I said. I've criticised Aces and Eights for not going after big titles. Seems like Terminator NJ is listening, oh dear. But anyway, yes. So yeah, we get on to the next segment. Mickey James comes out to cut a promo. Out comes Terry. It's nice to actually see the Knockouts get a promo segment for once, because we always see the matches, we never really get to hear them talk. It was refreshing.
They picked the right person to come out and do the mic talk, which was Mickey James, the one that everyone loves to see. And this was really good. The only thing is, yes, you do expect the Knockouts champion to come out, which he did. But I don't think this was great mic work, especially the fact she has that stupid boyfriend with her.
I thought the mic work was alright. I don't mind the mic work. It's just the fact that this all seemed to centre around Velvet Sky. Now, I don't mind them bringing back Velvet Sky because she can be a ratings draw. She's a hot woman. But why not put the focus on the match and return Velvet Sky on the Impact after the pay-per-view? Just would have made a little bit more sense. You're hyping up the match there, you're still allowing her to return. Do you know what I mean?
It was the question that you do wonder, but obviously they, as you point out in many past shows, they're all about the rating. I think they wanted to make this as high a rating as they could be for the later pay-per-view. The thing about this is, yeah, she brought her back, it's something to look forward to, but I don't know. Velvet Sky looked like a female version of the Joker. Bright red lipstick, white face. I'm like, what the hell are you doing to Velvet there?
Whoever dolled her up backstage, you clearly don't know what you're doing. Even I could probably do better makeup than that, and I'm a man who's never ever done makeup or never groomed himself. So there we go. We got this 1-3-13, 3rd of January vignette. I wonder what that could be. A return of Abyss. Who really knows?
This is a big question I want to point out to you, and then probably when that date comes, we'll go through who's right, who's wrong. But yes, I do think they're going to probably either hype up Abyss return for the second time, or this is going to be a part of a return of certain someone.
So who do you think, what do you think this is aiming at? The 3rd of January 2013, the first Impact of 2013. What do you think this is going to be? Let us know in the comment section. A big talking point, probably going to be in the next couple of weeks, is going to be this 1-3-13. Kind of copying 2-1-12 and all that kind of stuff that WWE have done with dates, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Robbie E and Robbie T versus Chavo Hernandez. Once again, this was another match that wasn't really about the match. It probably should have been a shorter match, but it was more about the enhancement and what happened after the match. You have Joey Ryan getting on the mic, distracting the tag champs in order for Morgan to come in and knock them the fuck out.
The thing about this match, I don't really care. They really didn't do much justice for this. I don't really care. But the main thing was, obviously, we knew the face was going to win. This led to Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan, which I do think this is going to be, obviously, a feud going down the line because they're running out of tag teams. So I'd say, good idea for doing this, especially on the Go-Home show for the pay-per-view.
Simple yet effective. 2 words which you can associate sometimes with TNA. It's a shame, though, looking at the tag division, how Robbie E and Robbie T are like a tag team, and I don't know. We had a backstage segment. Aces and Eights had some pretty hot company this week, didn't they? I'd love to have been in that Aces and Eights party with those lesbians. HLA! HLA! You know Bischoff is in the company when you've got HLA going on.
The fact that you bring in hot women to a heel faction, I was a bit like, oh, whoa, they must be like the bad guys there. This was very nicely done. I thought it got them some attention. Yes, there was that rumour or thoughts going around with a knockout joining the Aces and Eights, but this, again, apart from Devon once again running his mouth thinking he's the headline of this faction, it was stupid, but it was nice to see female action there.
Sorry, what you said there, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I couldn't stop thinking about those females. Anyway, let's move on to the next match, which was Doc versus Kurt Angle. In the hour main event, again, another match which was more about the angle than the in-ring action. It's probably how it should have been because they needed to set up some kind of pay-per-view match with the Aces and Eights. The Aces and Eights stormed the ring. Samoa Joe, Garrett Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe are back up for Kurt Angle. We get that 4-on-4 match created, Aces and Eights versus Angle, Garrett Bischoff, Briscoe, and Joe. So, again, another match which was more about the angle, but this did at least something for the pay-per-view.
As this is the second Aces and Eights match that was mentioned last week for this week, yes, I thought they should have been saved for the pay-per-view, but it looks like Samoa Joe will probably get his rematch at the pay-per-view, and this match has been made. So it's made 2 pay-per-view matches, which was needed. The Aces and Eights had their match at the pay-per-view, and this one sounds like it's going to be pretty good. You have the Aces and Eights who can shine from this, and you have the faces who obviously need this pay-per-view match.
Joe and Devon are in this match, so I doubt there'll be a rematch. But they'll probably do it on free TV, because that's what TNA love to do. Anyway, so after that segment, I should say, Kenny King versus Kid Cash versus Zema Ion in a #1 contendership match for the X Division Championship. And all I can say about this, it was 6 minutes of decent action in the X Division, something we don't really see too much of in TNA right now, because X Division doesn't really draw, so they don't focus on that one too much. But Kenny King is the #1 contender. He's going to face RVD at the pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to that match despite the really, really last-minute build.
This match, again, X Division is what TNA need to have some concentration on, even though if it doesn't draw as much as we want it to. It's good to see Kenny King get the win. Again, hopefully making up for that stupid thing they treated him last week. So I say, okay, you got Kenny King at pay-per-view, well done TNA.
I've got a little bit of a talking point for you guys out there. I recently watched a Vince Russo shoot interview, and in this shoot interview he said the lowest rating of a wrestling show is during the wrestling match itself. What do you think about this? Do you think that is the case? Are you a bit offended by that? I just really would like to get your thoughts on that in the comment section below. But now, Bully Ray come out for a promo, basically saying that he's going to take this show over until he gets exactly what he wants. And everyone wants to see Bully Ray versus Aries, and he is protesting.
That was pretty good, because obviously this big argument or big feud thing going on between Bully Ray or Bubba Ray and Hogan. I really do like this, because yes, you could say Bubba Ray's turned to be a face, but he's a face with attitude, which keeps him as a heel-like kind of character too. This gives us the match again for the pay-per-view. I do like this. Yes, we've seen it before, but this feud, I think they're going to do it properly, probably longer term, and they've got them both at the pay-per-view, so good job.
Yeah, I mean, they switched around now. Aries and Bully Ray have essentially switched their roles with heel and face. Like you said with Bully Ray, he is a face with an attitude. He's got an attitude, but he plays to the crowd. That kind of edgy baby face that a Miz could be in WWE. And then you get Austin Aries coming out, pretty much joining in the protest, but from a distance, because he wants to berate Bully Ray a little bit more. And then out comes Hogan. And, of course, this whole storyline focuses around Brooke Hogan and Hulk Hogan and all that kind of stuff. Bully Ray and Hogan have a bit of a stare down. Brooke Hogan comes in a rather low-cut dress and breaks them two up.
Yes, we have Brooke in a bit of cloth and a top. She goes out to her dad. And this the big thing here, which obviously does show that there's something strong going on between Bully Mark and Brooke Hogan. And then Hogan obviously really doing what the crowd wanted, which was give this match. We all knew he was going to say yes. It was just a matter of how they were going to make Hogan say yes, and it was all thanks to his daughter. And
you bring up an interesting point there, NJ. And then it's funny how Hogan goes from saying, "No way, brother, this match isn't happening, brother," to, "You got your match!" Wasn't it? It was quite funny how 1 minute he said that, and the next minute, even though we all knew the match was going to happen anyway. So yeah, so that sets up, I believe, the third match set up tonight for the pay-per-view was in this segment. So yes, then we get to our main event of the evening. 6-man tag action, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, James Storm versus Bobby Roode, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian. Fortune, as I like to call them, Free Tune. This match got a lot of time, 15 and a half minutes. Again, it was more about the aftermath than the match. This happened a lot during TNA. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Jeff Hardy gets the win on Kazarian, who doesn't have anything to do at the pay-per-view, so that makes sense. Storm and AJ were fighting after the match, and then the Aces and Eights storm the ring, and Storm comes out and clears the ring of the Aces and Eights. So the Aces and Eights end the show.
The match was pretty solid. I did enjoy it. There was a lot of action going on, and it was the match that I think it was one of the best matches for this show.
Oh, definitely one of, yeah.
And I did really enjoy this, and the fact that he had the Ace and Eights come out, a bit more work for them, and it all came clear, especially when the Ace and Eights got paid early in the night. This was really good.
And then you get the thumbs up from Bobby Roode to the Aces and Eights, and it seems like it does pay to be Roode. So that was interesting, wasn't it? How Bobby Roode paid the Aces and Eights to take out Jeff Hardy.
Yes, with that, I'm going to quickly say that it goes back to Roode probably being teased to have involvement with the Aces and Eights, but also the fact that the Aces and Eights have their big comeback going for the World Heavyweight Championship. Tonight, the Aces and Eights have had a good night. We've captured the TV Championship. We are facing the Worthless Mortals at the pay-per-view, and Jeff Hardy sure felt our wrath. All I can say now is beware, Worthless Mortals. And as for Wes Briscoe, you'll do a good job.
What's Wes Briscoe got to do with this whole thing? I'm not really seeing where he fits in here.
Neither do I. He's just won the gut check. He's now a TNA part of the roster. I don't see why he's involved with the Aces and Eights.
Well, I guess we'll just move on to our overall thoughts. Don't know really what Terminator NJ is going on about. But we go on to our overall thoughts now on the show. NJ, what did you think of this Go Home Show 2 Final Resolution?
We do sometimes badmouth Go Home shows because they try and do too much in them. But this one was pretty relaxed, nicely done. Gave us the match that we needed to top up the card. The segments were pretty effective, and nothing was like overly done or overly boring. I thought this show was pretty damn good.
It was a solid show. I mean, there was nothing on there that was too outlandish, but there was nothing on there that was complete shit. Yes, there was some enhancement matches, but there was a lot of aftermath, and I think sometimes in wrestling, you know, you can't just have matches. You have to have matches which have an aftermath, and that is what gets people's eyes drawing. What happens after the match, really more so than what actually happens in the ring. We had 3 matches announced tonight, like you said, involving the Aces and Eights, which was much needed. For me personally, it wasn't like a great go-home show. It wasn't the most entertaining go-home show, but it was a solid, in my opinion, very solid, simple yet effective go-home show to final resolution. And you could see some aspects in there of TNA trying to draw some ratings, like the Aces and Eights at the end, the Velvet Sky return, etc., etc. The hot women in the Aces and Eights dressing room or locker room, or whatever you want to call them.
Again, even though this gave us the hype up for the pay-per-view, it's not really got me looking forward to the TNA pay-per-view. They filled the card better, but again, the matches could be good, but I'm not hyping up, looking forward to it kind of feeling.
Let's save our thoughts on the pay-per-view for the preview on Saturday. Let's let them wait and thrive at the mouth before they hear our thoughts on the pay-per-view. So, NJ, what are your thoughts on the... I'm joking, don't worry, I'm joking. So you give us your thoughts down in the comment section below on this go-home edition of TNA Impact Wrestling. I have been Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me has been... NJ.
What's up?
You know things are getting serious now, guys. I'm going to pass you over to NJ for this outro.
Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for Terminator NJ's interruption, but from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show, enjoyed this review, and until next time, YouTubers, goodbye.
I'm just glad he didn't attack me.